Welcome to Chapter 4, Describing Data and Displaying and Exploring Data. In this chapter, we are going to work on constructing and interpreting dot plots. We're going to identify and compute measures of position, construct and analyze box plots, compute and describe the coefficient of skewness, create and interpret a scatter diagram, and develop and explain a contingency table. So let's get started with dot plots. A dot plot shows the range of values on the horizontal axis and the number of observations for each value on the vertical axis. Dot plots report the details of each observation, and they are useful for comparing two or more data sets and are most useful for smaller data sets. Then we would use histograms for larger data sets. When developing a dot plot, you want to make sure that each observation is displayed as a dot along a horizontal number line indicating the possible values of the data. If there are identical observations or the observations are too close to be shown individually, then you are going to pile the dots on top of each other. And in the example problem that we are going to do, I will show you how to do that. All right, let's take a look at a practice problem for dot plots. Number 1, here are the number of iPhones sold at the Harrisburg Verizon store for the last 14 days. A says, what are the maximum and minimum values? So that's fairly straightforward. We all know how to find that now. I think it's 2 and 14. So the max is 14 and the minimum is 2. And this will help us when we are doing letter B, creating the dot plot. So first we are going to draw our horizontal line, which I've got right here. Then we need to start with the minimum and the maximum because we have to encompass all of the data into our dot plot. Then we are going to label the rest of them. Okay, so now we are going to go through and put our dots on our dot plot. So we're going to start with 3. I'll cross that off. We have 7. We have 2, 14, 12. We have another 7. So what we do is we pile it. We put it on top. 6, another 7, another 7, 6, 9, another 9, a 5, and another 6. And there you have it. That's our dot plot. Then for C, the last thing we need to do is look at the data and say, what is the typical number of iPhones sold? So when we look at this data, I'm noticing that we have a cluster right here. So I would say the typical number would be between 6 or 7.